Welcome back everyone for a full breakdown Cobra Kai Season 4, Episode 1, Watch Party. The early streaming of the first episode of Season 4 was a success, at least for those of us who were able to watch. I'm going to do a brief review and rundown of the episode, so if you don't want to see any spoilers, please click away now. Alright, for those of you who've seen the spoilers or don't mind spoilers, let's continue. The show opens with Terry Silver playing the piano. His cell phone rings and it's Kreese from the end of Season 3. Now Kreese comes up as unknown, which I think is a little interesting. You recall that Kreese called from the phone in the dojo, and I seriously doubt he had some sort of caller ID blocking. I think the purpose was to leave it open for the audience. Did Terry Silver hang up because he didn't want anything to do with Kreese? Or did he just assume it was some spam call warning him about his car's extended warranty? I take it Terry recognized Kreese, as he did have Terry's number. Next was all the training scenes. A lot of these scenes have been released already. They are some good comic relief. You can clearly see the tone for the season being established. Johnny and Daniel are just different from each other. We also got a translation of what's on the rock. That is a Netflix thing. I guess Hayden can't make up translations for people anymore. Back at the Cobra Kai dojo, Tori has her first flashbacks to the house fight, and it's making her angry. She argues with Kyler, who yells that half the squad quit. That's extremely fortunate that so many Cobra Kai students quit, because it happens to coincide with a new stunt team coming in, so a lot of the previous background characters are being replaced. Either way, Robbie doesn't go to training. He insists he never joined Cobra Kai. He just needed a place to stay. Back at the LaRusso manse, the new alarm went off and the family is on edge. Anthony shows up with suggestions on what they should have done. I'm going to touch on this moment a little more in my next video, but we get a clue for how his season will go. Daniel and Amanda talk it over. They got a lot to think about. Amanda probably has the funniest line in the entire episode right here.
I know things are less than ideal.
A small boy was thrown through our window.
That's a good one. At Johnny's place, he made dinner for the Diaz family. Rosa teases Miguel about getting back together with Sam, and Miguel notes Johnny was out with Allie. This is awkward because Miguel doesn't know about his mom and Johnny. This is a really well-written scene. You can learn a lot about someone based on who they relate to, or if they don't relate to anyone at all. Maybe they don't get it. I felt for Johnny here. It's brutal just knowing Carmen is not going to be happy about what Miguel is saying. He wants to explain everything, but he just can't. Either way, Carmen decides it's best that they take it slow, don't rush in. There are other obstacles in the way. Kreese takes the direct approach. He visits Terry Silver and walks in on a party. He meets Silver's girlfriend or whoever. It's clear immediately that Terrence is living a completely different life. Martin Kove plays it extremely well as Kreese gets himself invited to the party. Now back at the combined dojos, Daniel and Johnny had the brilliant idea to split up. Basically, it's taking away from the whole purpose of combining in the first place. Miguel and Sam are worried. They don't like this new development but don't know what else to do. It does ultimately bring more comedy. The Eagle Fangs are practicing their new moves on Hawk. He admits he caused a lot of trouble and he's sorry, but as Johnny says, talk is cheap. Next was Tori confronting Robbie. She's mad at Robbie because he's not joining Cobra Kai. She's trying to work his angles. He's mad at her for starting the LaRusso manse brawl. Tori starts on Sam.
Girls like Sam LaRusso think the whole world revolves around them, and why shouldn't she? All she has to do to get what she wants is make a puppy dog face and say please.
Of course, Tori doesn't actually know that about Sam's life. She's definitely making her own assumptions. It works on Robbie though. Back at Terrence's mansion, Kreese is getting to know his new social circle. This will sum it up for you.
Something I can help you with, bud?
You have a Habsburg jawline.
He also learns that the girlfriend is launching a mindfulness app, because apparently that's a thing to people like her. They bring up karate and Cobra Kai, and Kreese reminds Terrence that it's a way of life. At the combined dojos, the plan isn't working. Johnny and Daniel fight some more. You know that's going to happen a lot this season. but Hawk catches a painting of an Okinawan sparring deck. Dimitri fills him in on some of the details. Hawk feels out of place and Daniel snaps at him. This is somewhat important because we can assume Daniel knows Hawk's history and that he never got along well with anyone. It's also important because it shows Daniel going too far. He immediately regrets it. Either way, there's more fighting and Miguel and Sam feel like it's all falling apart. So now the plan springs into action. Miguel is trying to convince Johnny to take the first step and offer to reconcile with Daniel. Johnny is hesitant, but Miguel brings up Rocky 3. Apollo Creed went to Rocky because working together was the only way they could win. This moves Johnny as it would any true man of the 80s. After, Miguel calls Sam and we learn this was another planned trap. They are both trying to get Daniel and Johnny to work together. She was on her way to Robbie. Her goal is to get Robbie to come back. The scene doesn't go well for her and there's a lot of reasons why. She admits she chose Miguel over him, but says that doesn't mean he has to make the wrong choice. Sam assumes what she's after is the right way, and that should be obvious to everyone. So she asks him to come back to Miyagi-Do and his father. Except she never considered how that would affect Robbie. In any situation, it would be hard, even painful, for him to go back and spend every day watching Miguel and Sam together, all happy. Is that a good choice for him? It's a thought that never even occurred to her. He turns her down in a line inspired by Tori. Sam won't get what she wants. At Terrence's beautiful oceanfront home, Kreese has a few words. Terrence doesn't want to go back to Cobra Kai. He's rich. He's doing just fine. But Kreese plays on the inner fire. The inner fire Kreese knows still burns inside. He brings up Vietnam and what they went through together and wants to finish the job. Terry says he was hopped up on cocaine and revenge. Obviously a nice explanation for Karate Kid 3. But the most interesting moment of this scene is when Kreese mentions Daniel LaRusso and Terry immediately knows who he is.
The only thing standing in our way is Daniel LaRusso.
Danny boy?
He hasn't forgotten one bit. He also mentions Johnny Lawrence and Terry knows who Johnny is. That is interesting and surprising. I'll cover it in my next video. In Reseda, Johnny struggles with making that call to Daniel. But as it is, Daniel shows up at Johnny's door. Probably what I like most about the scene is Daniel drinking Coors Banquet. Anyway, every story has a death scene, whiff of death. That is what's happening here. The team up has died. Daniel and Johnny agree it isn't working. They're planning the divorce. They need to just figure out how to break it to the kids. The next day, Sam is in the backseat of the Ford depressed. She says her dad was gone. She's afraid the team up won't happen. I originally thought Sam's feelings were because of what Robbie said to her, but looking back, I don't think that's the case. She and Miguel were scheming to get this team up to work, and she's afraid it's going to collapse. She's right too because of what we saw in the previous scene. Over at Cobra Kai, everyone comes to class to see Robbie at the front. Kreese isn't back, so he's gonna lead warm-ups. Kyler and gang don't take well to that. Robbie hasn't had one class as a Cobra. How could he be teaching it? Robbie says he'll leave if they can get one hit on him. So, of course, a fight breaks out. This is a pretty badass fight. Robbie blocks everything and takes out the Cobras like it's nothing. He then fights Tori and flips her on the ground. He offers her a hand, but she gets a kick in, very similar to what she did to Miguel on her first day. Robbie is going to leave, but Tori tells him to stay. At Miyagi-Do, Daniel and Johnny find Hawk smashing down the fence. He realized they need more bridges to work together. So the students are building an Okinawan sparring deck. Everyone is working on it. I love this moment as Hawk, the most divisive person in the dojos, is the one bringing them together. Back at Cobra Kai, Robbie gives his speech. He says Miyagi-Do thinks they're better than them. That moment came from Sam. It's a big part of what drove him to join Cobra Kai. You get sick of someone else always thinking they're better than you. He says he will teach them Miyagi-Do so they're able to fight back. Kreese comes in and is so proud. I got this scene wrong for sure. Back at Terrence's home, he's getting a bottle of wine from the cellar. He spots a lone bottle sitting on the Cayman Estates crate, Easter egg, and feels the calling of his old self. He kicks that puny thing against the painting. The fire has returned. It cannot go out because
Cobra Kai, never dies. Bet your ass.
Terrence was always hiding it. Overall, I definitely think this is the strongest episode 1 since the very first episode of the series. It surpasses the first episode of both seasons 2 and 3. What's unique is the drama is so captivating that sometimes it feels like the humor is slowing things down, but the comedy is definitely welcome. The most important aspect of this episode is the manipulation. This has the most manipulation out of any episode in the season so far. It's what makes the drama so freaking enticing. The most obvious is Kreese. He's long established as the master manipulator. He does a number on Terry Silver. Seriously, both the writing and Martin Kove's performance in these scenes is top notch. It would be so easy to play this over the top, but Kove nails it perfectly. He's rekindling the fire that burns deep inside Terrence. It takes a while, but he knows it's there. Kreese also manipulates Robbie, his choice words recounting the events of the season 3 finale with slight twists to suit his goals. For example, he talks about how Johnny left him with that scar, except it was an accident. Robbie was attacking him, and then Johnny was attacked from behind by Kreese himself when Robbie was out cold. Perfect manipulation from Kreese. But Kreese isn't the only one. Tori is also manipulating Robbie. She puts down Sam to Robbie, knowing he's still hurt inside about what happened. That's how she can get to him. She plants the seeds for him to later see her as a bad person, as someone who hurts people and doesn't even realize it, much less care. I don't know whether she's genuinely interested in getting Robbie to join Cobra Kai, or she just doesn't want Sam to get what she wants, but either way, she's putting a number on Robbie. Sam thinks she can convince Robbie to come back, but this is where Tori's prior manipulation takes precedence. He sees Sam not owning up to what she did, and instead just worried about what she wants right now. Maybe if she could have at least brought herself to apologize for cheating on him, things would have gone different. But instead, she just focused on getting him to come back. Like I said, it was what she wanted right now. Needless to say, out of all the manipulation in this episode, Sam is the least successful. Except Robbie wasn't the only one she was manipulating. Miguel and Sam together were scheming and manipulating Johnny and Daniel. They're trying desperately to keep the team up going. While their tactics work in the short term, the differences between Johnny and Daniel are too much to overcome. Actually, I think their storyline is the weakest this episode, mostly because the climax goes to Hawk. It was his idea to build the sparring deck, and that really brings everyone together. I love the moment for Hawk. He really needed to step up and prove himself to everyone. He did just that. Except it leaves Miguel and Sam's story arc a little flat. They didn't accomplish much. I will be back with a final look at Season 4. What from this episode can we take away that may be important in the future? I will also be live on the 31st with a full reaction to Season 4. It'll be a little later in the day to give everyone time to watch. Be sure you're subscribed. Have a great day. I'll see you at the next watch party.